Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Well, I was thinking today, and that's usually a dangerous thing because when I'm thinking, my head starts to hurt, and I'm probably like, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing that because there's too much smoke in this room anyways. But with this, the season hopefully will start on time. Training camp hopefully will start on time. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But I was thinking to myself, what would be the weakest link if it was the offensive line versus the defensive line? Which one of the two would be the problem child, would be the issue, would be the part of the team that could potentially hold us back? Now, both have strengths, both have some glaring weaknesses, but which one out of the two, between the offensive line and the defensive line, would be the team's Achilles heel, the weak spot? Now, let's break it down real quick. My first thought process was, let's take a look at the offensive line. If we go by the unofficial depth charts, we're looking at, of course, Nate Solder at left tackle, left guard Will Hernandez, Spencer Pulley at center, right guard Kevin Siler, and, of course, right tackle Andrew Thomas. Now, looking at that, I'm seeing problems right off the bat. We are going to... For the last 2 years, we have had a pretty bad combination with Nate Solder and Will Hernandez on the left side of the line. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Hernandez took a huge step back in year 2. Nate has never shown to be anything more than a system player from the New England Patriots. And if we look at who's behind them, or who potentially could be on the depth chart behind them, you could have Cam Fleming, Eric Smith, Nick Gates, Chad Slade, and Shane Lemieux. Why do I keep thinking of Mario Lemieux? I keep saying, goal! Oh, I'm sorry, that's soccer. Like I told you, I'm thinking too much today. My brain's hurting. So we're not looking at a strength there. Now, the biggest issue I think with Will Hernandez is he was very mature his rookie season, but he really lost some maturity going into year 2, and he had as an offensive lineman, you cannot let defensive players get under your skin. And he had a couple games last year when that happened, that some defensive players provoked him. And while we did pull a couple penalties, there was a couple penalties that should have been called that weren't. Now, you would hope in year 3 that he would mature a little bit more. Like I said, he is a road paver. His pass blocking has not been probably where it should be. But then the question to that is part of that problem Nate Solder? I mean, is he covering for Nate? And I don't think in his mind he's sitting there, I got to cover for Nate. But is he taking a look at the situation and saying, okay, I'm going to have to block this guy, maybe I'm going to have to chip this guy because I got to help out Nate? And, so it's interesting. Plus also the fact that, you run into a sophomore slump quite a bit as an NFL player. It's only because of the fact that, teams get tons of film on you for your rookie season. You really do have to adjust to your tendencies because teams will pick those tendencies apart. So I take a look at that sideline and I get slightly concerned. Same thing with the center position. Yeah, we have Spencer Pulley and Nick Gates. Everyone's like, wow, they're going to be great. They're going to be awesome. We have no idea if they're going to be great or if they're going to be awesome. And then backing them up, we have Shane Lemieux. Rookie season, never played center before. We don't know if he's going to be great. We don't know if he's going to be awesome. So center has a big question mark. Kevin Siler over at right guard and Andrew Thomas at left tackle. Kevin had a pretty good season, not a great season, but he was pretty much what we expected him to be. Andrew Thomas, I am expecting big things from. But again, you don't know. And then backing that up, of course, we got Nick Gates again, Shane Lemieux, Cam Fleming, Matt Pert, and I think Tyler Haycroft, I think, is still on the team. I don't even remember. But we have them backing them up. So, like I said, it's not. I'm looking at the offensive line saying it could be okay, it could be good, it could also be god awful. My suggestion has always been, let's take Thomas and Solder and flip-flop them. Let's move Solder over to the right guard, right tackle position. Maybe team him up a little bit more with a veteran in Kevin Siler. and take Thomas and move him next to Hernandez. If you think about it, it's a possibility that having the two stronger players, I think, on the same side of the line could potentially help solidify the line on both ends, just flip-flopping. Now, my biggest concern is always going to be the center position. Like I said, Spencer Pulley, Nick Gates, we don't know how they're going to hold up full season, how they're going to play. I mean, John Jalapeno was not the best center in the world, but he was quality enough to help carry us through the season until he got hurt in the Eagles game. And then, like I said, we can't expect Shane Lemieux to come in, who's never played center before, and all of a sudden start playing center. So that concerns me a little bit. And then, like I said, the depth behind the line, Cam Fleming is a career backup. Yes, he's got 35 starts out of 77 games, but he's never won the position. He's always had the position given to him via injury. And like I said, we've said it before, New England thought so highly of him after he played in the Eagles Super Bowl that they released him. Same thing with the Cowboys. Cowboys thought so signed him to a 1-year contract and signed him to a 2-year contract and didn't pick up the second option. So, I mean, I think that Lemieux and Fleming and Gates could potentially, be a very good second team unit. But like I said, to me, we're not solidified. We've had so many issues on the line the last couple of years. I think we have the right pieces. I think we just kind of maneuver the pieces around to maybe to let them fit a little bit better. Now let's just jump into the defensive line real quick. The defensive line, if we're going to play the standard 3-4, or I should say the 3-4 hybrid, we got Leonard Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Dexter Lawrence. Pretty good, except if you're going for a standard 3-4, you're usually going for a nose tackle or an interior lineman and 2 defensive ends. From going, that's you don't have to go that way, but that's usually how it goes. The biggest concerns I see on the defensive line, I think we're going to be more than stout against the run. We were stout last year against the run, but this year I think, with Lawrence getting another year under his belt, Leonard Williams picking up the system, having a full year in whatever system we're going to run, and Tomlinson, I think, is just a stud in and out. But the question is going to be, and is going to be always, if we switch to a 4-3, 5-2 front, who's going to play the edge? I mean, we got B.J. Hill, Austin Johnson, Chris Slayton, R.J. McIntosh. Maybe we slide over O'Shane Ximenez over into more of a defensive end position. Everyone thinks Kyler is going to have is going to kind of fill in for Marcus Golden, but I'm not seeing it. I think Kyler, like I said, Green Bay thought so highly of Kyler that they, after his 10-sack season, that they signed the next year. They signed 2 linebackers to start and drafted one. So, I mean, and they're like, well, he dropped because he didn't play. He didn't play because he couldn't crack the lineup. So, I mean, if you look at it, like I said, against the run, I think we are going to be tough. I just don't see where we are going to generate a pass rush from the defensive line position. And then I worry if we go to a 4-3, who is going to play the ends and who is going to hold the edge against a run? I mean, back in the day when we ran NASCAR with Spags, it was easy. It was easy to figure out because of the fact you had JCP, you had JPP, you had you had I can't even think of number 72. I'm drawing a blank, but you had Strahan, you had Matthias Kiwanuka, you had Osi Umenyiora. There I go. I got his name right. You had players that, could also get to the quarterback, rotated it, and could also hold the edge to play the run. I don't see that on the, Austin Johnson is more of a Dalvin Tomlinson, Leonard Williams clone. So I'm not seeing where we're pulling that in. And then you have people like, well, we're going to have Carter Coughlin's going to make the team. And well, you don't know if Carter Coughlin or TJ Brunson or any of these guys are going to make the team. Like I said, they're more listed as linebackers, but people have them filling in at defensive end positions. So, I mean, while both areas have issues, I think we have more pieces in place for the offensive line that we could turn around and we can secure it. So like I said, it may just be a Jenga puzzle and we got to move it around the offensive line. But my biggest concern right now, like I said, I will be slightly concerned, like I said, because we don't have a true center. But I do think we can get away with the offensive line. I think Daniel Jones will be protected, and I do think that Saquon Barkley will have some holes to run through. It's the defensive line that does concern me. And it concerns me not against the run, but if we are going to play a hybrid multiple front defensive system, we do not have the capabilities to go 4-3-5-2. If we stick to a 3-4, and like I said, our linebackers aren't that strong to stick to the 3-4. But like I said, if not getting the premier edge is going to be an issue, and I think it is going to be an issue into the season because of the fact that we have no one the offense is going to respect or double team from the defensive line position. So if I had to pick which one is going to be the weakest link, it's going to definitely have to be the defensive line. Because like I said, I think we have the pieces for the offensive line. I think we just kind of rotate them around and move them in. But like I said, when I look at the defensive line, we are stout against the run. I think we will be a force against the run. But I'm not sure how we are going to turn around and generate a pass rush. And from the defensive line position, especially from the edge position, especially if we're going to be moving towards, like I said, the multiple front, defensive line. So like I said, the 4-3, the 5-2, I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. But like I said, it's still early. We still have to wait and see what's going to happen. Changes to the roster will occur. You never know who we may bring in, who we may find, who might turn out to be a stud, and who may turn out to be a dud. But at this point in time, we just kind of have to wait and see. And we will just have to kind of go from there. And as always, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And if you could if you could subscribe, if you could ring the bell, if you could bring the Harley back into the garage after I just washed it, that would be awesome.